to the motion, because I have grave concerns about us going sine die. Mr. Speaker, since we last left this chamber on October 2nd, where we as a legislature adopted implementing language for our budget, we as a state have received 5 pieces of news that gives me grave concern. Firstly, we had received news from OPM and OFA, our Office of Fiscal Analysis, nonpartisan, our Office of Policy and Management, and they, as per our laws, got together to come to a consensus on our revenue picture. Both entities agreed that our revenue picture is very poor, that every single revenue category has shown a decline. In fact, more of a decline than we anticipated when we adopted the budget on August 31st, and that it would result in a deficit for the biennium between $350 and $390 million. Secondly, we found out that on October 13th, our unemployment fund was bankrupt, that we are literally borrowing money on a 3-month by 3-month basis from the federal government at the rate of about $65 million a year just to keep that fund solvent in order to pay those who are making unemployment claims. Thirdly, we learned from the Secretary of State's office, Secretary of State Weissowitz, that Connecticut has lost 6,600 jobs since September, that we have closed 9,200 plus businesses since January. And finally, Mr. Speaker, we learned just the other day that Moody's Investment Service, the bond rating service that objectively looks at all of our state's financial conditions, has degraded, if you will, the financial outlook for the state of Connecticut. What once was stable has now been degraded to negative. And Moody's warns that unless we take action to correct it, it could result between the next 6 months to a year in downgrading our bond rating, which, as you know, Mr. Speaker, will cost millions and millions of dollars in additional interest payments on the money we borrow. That's money that does not go to educate kids, to keep anyone healthy, to pave a road, to create a job. Mr. Speaker, with those 5 things in mind, it, to me, is imperative that we as a legislative body get together and handle this crisis, that we prepare for it. Yes, we all hope for brighter days. We all hope that the economy turns around quicker than anticipated, but we have a responsibility to prepare this state for the worst. And unfortunately, from all these objective sources, we are getting bad news that it is going to get worse before it gets better, and we need to be prepared. The last time we had this kind of warning and we ignored it, it resulted in us having to borrow almost $1 billion to just balance the books for fiscal year 2009. We, according to Moody's, have borrowed $1.3 billion to balance our budget. They feel is far too high. We've relied on an unstable revenue source by heavily relying on the financial sector of Fairfield County, the wealthy, if you will, and they find that that could be a volatile source. And we also have too many one-shot revenues to balance our budget. That is the concern and the warning of Moody's. We have a responsibility to do something about it. If we adjourn sine die, we will not be able to do that. I think our job is to be here working on this problem on behalf of the citizens of Connecticut. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. President.
Chair Mark Furley. If not, in some minds, all those in favor of adjourning sine die, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. September special session is adjourned sine die.